store. That only we can understand. Okay, clear. After finishing of this, next, capacity of a spherical conductor. In this, capacity of a spherical conductor. This value C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught into R. There is a sphere of radius R. What is the capacity of that sphere means capacity of a spherical conductor formula will be C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught into R, where R is the radius of that sphere. Clear understanding? That is the formula for capacity of a conductor, spherical conductor or sphere. It is depend on size and shape of conductor. What is dependent? Capacity. Capacity is dependent on size and shape of the conductor. It depends on nature of surrounding medium. It depends on nature of the surrounding medium. Which medium is there around the sphere? On that it will depend. It is independent. It is independent on charge and potential. It is independent on charge and potential. It is independent on Q and V. Though formula C is equal to Q by V, it is dependent on size and shape of the conductor. Okay, it is depending on the nature of the surrounding medium. Next, capacity of a parallel plate capacitor. Capacity of a parallel plate capacitor. Next, second one will be. Okay. Parallel plate capacitor, generally it will have two parallel plates like this. If the medium between the two plates is air, or write like this. If the medium between two plates is air, what is meant by parallel plate capacitor? What is the expression for the capacity of a parallel plate capacitor? Everything that we discussed in the board syllabus, just here write the formula, that is NF. C air is equal to A epsilon naught by D, where A is the area of cross section of each plate, epsilon naught will be permittivity of vacuum, D is the distance between the two plates. Next, for or if medium between plates is dielectric, means some insulating medium is placed between the two plates of the capacitor. One dielectric medium is placed. Some liquid is placed between the two plates. Some another glass plate is placed between the two plates. Then C medium is equal to Ka epsilon naught by D. If air medium is there, A epsilon naught by D. And glass medium or any dielectric medium is there, Ka epsilon naught by D. From this also we can define the dielectric constant. This by this value will be equal to K. So K is equal to C medium by C air. This is the formula. Now some portion is dielectric, some portion is air. Then what is the capacity formula? So a dielectric of thickness T is placed between the plates. Then here this is the capacitor, na? Here I kept a dielectric up to here. What is the thickness of the dielectric? T. Dielectric constant is K only. This remaining part, actually this total distance is D. So what is this distance? D minus T part length. Air is there and T part medium is there. For this capacity, C dash is equal to A epsilon naught by D minus T into 1 minus 1 by K. This is the formula. So some portion of dielectric is there, some portion air is there. What is the capacity of that parallel plate capacitor means? A epsilon naught by D minus T into 1 minus 1 by K. This is the formula. Clear? Next, after finishing of this, we will discuss about the grouping of, and here some more questions will be there on the parallel plate capacitors. What is the force acting on each plate of the capacitor? Force acting on each plate of the parallel plate capacitor. F is equal to E into Q. E value will be sigma by 2 epsilon naught into Q. Sigma is equal to Q by A. So this value Q by A into Q whole divided by 2 epsilon naught. Then F value is equal to Q square by 2A epsilon naught. What is the force acting on each plate of the parallel plate capacitor? Find. Like that questions will be there. Q square by 2A epsilon naught. Understanding this one. Next, force per unit area they will ask. Force per unit area is equal to F by A. F by A value will be Q square by 2A square epsilon naught. Q square by A square will be sigma square. So this value sigma square by 2 epsilon naught. So force per unit area will be sigma square by 2 epsilon naught. Sigma is what? Surface charge density. In the same way, force acting on each plate will be Q square by 2A epsilon naught. Questions will be there on this formulae relating to parallel plate capacitor. So spherical conductor, parallel plate capacitor, what are the formulas for capacities we discussed up to now. And after finishing of this, we will discuss about combination of the capacitors. Next 7, combination of capacitors. In this combination of the capacitors, two combinations is there, already you know about it. The first one will be series combination, another one will be parallel combination. So A, series combination. Okay, series combination means capacitors are connected like this. Then this combination will be called as the series combination. C1, C2, C3, they are connected to a battery. This combination will be called as the series combination. So in this first one will be 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. When three capacitors are connected in series, what is the effective capacitance means 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. Only two are there. 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus C2. So that's why what we will get, Cs is equal to C1 C2 by C1 plus C2 we will get. Okay. Next, for n identical capacitors. N identical capacitors are connected in series. Effective capacitance Cs is equal to C by N. Clear? Next, in the same way, in series, which will remains constant, charge remains constant. Charge remains constant and PD will be conserved. Charge remains constant and PD will be conserved in series combination. Okay, and one more model will be there on this. Two capacitors are there. Their capacities are C1 and C2. They are connected in series. Then what is the PD across the first capacitor? What is the PD across the second capacitor? Calculate. Like that questions will be there. V1, V2. Two capacitors. Potential differences across them will be V1, V2. What is the V1 value? What is the V2 value? Like that questions will be there. Here V1 value will be equal to C2V by C1 plus C2. V2 value will be C1V by C1 plus C2. We will use these formulas to find V1 and V2 values. V1 is equal to C2V by C1 plus C2. V2 is equal to C1V by C1 plus C2. These formulas we will use. How these formulas are came, see. In series, what remains constant? Charge remains constant. Charge on this one will be how much? C1V1. Charge on the second capacitor will be C2V2. So C1V1 is equal to C2V2. Clear? Then so C1 by C2 is equal to V2 by V1. So C1 by C2 plus 1, V2 by V1 plus 1. Okay? Both sides 1 we added. So C1 plus C2 by C2 is equal to V2 plus V1 by V1. So this value will be V by V1. V2 plus V1 is equal to net potential V. So from this what we will get? V1 is equal to V1. You bring this one to this side, this one to this side. C2V by C1 plus C2. V1 is equal to C2V by C1 plus C2. Just write in the reverse order. Add 1 on both sides. You will get V2 value. Similar only. Just write like this. Instead of C1 by C2, you write C2 by C1. C2 by C1 is equal to V1 by V2. C2 by C1 plus 1 is equal to V1 by V2 plus 1. So this is C2 plus C1 by C1 is equal to V1 plus V2 by V2. V1 plus V2 is equal to V. This is V by V2. Then V2 is equal to C1V by C1 plus C2. This one. What is the question here asking? Two capacitors having capacities C1 and C2 are connected in series across a battery. Find the potential difference across the first capacitor, across the second capacitor. Means you have to use these formulas. C2V by C1 plus C2, V1 value, V2 value is this one. Two capacitors having capacities C1 and C2 are connected in series and connected across a battery of EMF V. Then PDV, potential difference across first capacitor, potential difference across second capacitor. This is about series combination of the capacitors. Next, parallel combination of the capacitors we will do. What is that? See. Next B, parallel combination. Parallel combinations means what? All first plates are joined at one place, all second plates are joined at one place, then that will be called as the parallel combination. Okay, then here what will happen? See, P is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. When three capacitors having capacities C1, C2, C3 are connected in parallel, effective capacity Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. Clear? Understanding? Now in the same way, for n identical capacitors, For n identical capacitors, Cp is equal to n into C. Next, third one. And now in parallel, PD remains constant and charge will be conserved. In parallel, PD remains constant and charge will be conserved. Okay, and some more question will be there on this. One more. For example, only two capacitors are there. They are connected in parallel. Two capacitors these are capacitors, remember. This is battery. Two capacitors of capacities C1 and C2 are connected in parallel. Two capacitors of capacities C1 and C2 are connected in parallel. Then charge. Parallel, what remains constant? Potential will remains constant. Charge stored on them will be different. Charge on each capacitor comma Q1 is equal to C1V by C1 plus C2. Q2 is equal to C2V by C1 plus C2. These formulas we will use for calculating the charge. Q1 is equal to C1V by C1 plus C2. C1Q by C1 plus C2. Q2 is equal to C2Q by C1 plus C2. On these problems will be there. How this is came, see, just we will do this. How this is came means, in parallel what remains constant? Potential difference remains constant. V is equal to Q by C. Here what will happen? Potential difference in terms of this, if we write Q1 by C1. Here Q2 by C2. So Q1 by C1 is equal to Q2 by C2. Then Q1 by Q2 is equal to C1 by C2. Plus 1 you add on both sides. Q1 by Q2 plus 1 is equal to C1 by C2 plus 1. Then Q1 plus Q2 by Q2 is equal to C1 plus C2 by C2. From this, Q by Q2 is equal to C1 plus C2 by C2. From this, Q2 is equal to C2Q by C1 plus C2. Similarly, if you reverse this one, you will get Q1 value. C1Q by C1 plus C2. In this manner, we will get these formulas. This is about the combination of the capacitors. Problems will be there and circuit problems will be there. How to solve the circuit problems, how to get confidently we will solve the circuit problems. Everything we will discuss in the next class. Around 2-3 hours are required to completely get a complete knowledge about the circuits. We will discuss in the coming classes. Next, energy of the capacitor will be there. With that, synopsis will complete. So maximum 3-4 hours synopsis will complete. Then we will start doing the problems. Okay, we'll stop today now.